Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to have a look at some of the materials I bought yesterday from the works and just see how they actually perform. First up, I'm going to have a look at these black fine lighters. These were 3 for £1. I'm just testing them out on one of the white revision cards. The ink was really smooth flowing, a really dark ink. The pens themselves were nice to hold. They've got like a little grippy section, which I think is quite helpful, and the ink flowed in pretty much any direction, which I thought was brilliant. So yeah, for £1 for 3 of those, you can't really go wrong. Next up, we're going to have a look at the different colour revision cards that I got. So I did get 2 packs, got the white and I got the coloured. There are 2 pastels and 2 brights. The pastel pinks, the pastel green. I really like these brighter shades. I think these are good if you're going to do like packs of cards. These are good title pages, contents pages, that kind of thing for any revision cards that you might make. Then we're going to have a look at this mini notebook. For £1, I wasn't expecting very much. I'm going to show you how to use these in another video in a way that I quite like them. But the paper was surprisingly smooth. The lines were dotted like a pale grey. So it was really nice and clear to use, but not so dark that you couldn't turn the book around and use it horizontal instead of vertical. And again, the ink flowed really nice on this one. So I think for £1, these little tiny notebooks are a good buy. Next up, I'm going to have a look at this inspirational quote blank notebook that I got. This was £3. I like it. It's good for bullet journaling. It's good for drawing out your own revision plans, that kind of thing. It's completely blank. The pages are really, again, super smooth. I've just gone to the back to test out these highlighters and brush pens. So as you can see, these are the highlighter pens. They were 6 for £2. They are billed as pastel shades, which I quite like because I often think that the traditional neon highlighter shades can just be a little bit visually arresting and quite distracting, whereas these are more just that they draw your attention to something, but they're not going to sort of overpower your page of notes or your revision cards. I particularly liked the yellow. I thought that was really good. It was bright, but it wasn't like in your face bright. And I think the blue was really nice as well, because although blue highlighters are quite popular, at least certainly on my school, the colour can often be a bit overwhelming. So I think they're actually really, really nice. And the ink was lovely. There was no dryness at all. Next up, the brush pens. These were £4 for 8. It's a pretty good deal. I don't love modern calligraphy all over everything. I think it's really nice on, artistic projects and labels and that kind of thing. And I think, oh, well, that's brilliant. For me as a teacher, I want to see your content, not how pretty your notes look, because ultimately when you get to that exam situation, it isn't the fact that you can write biology in beautiful loopy coloured calligraphy that's going to get you 6 marks on a 6-mark question. It's going to be your knowledge and how you apply it to that question. So I'm more interested in your knowledge and your content and how you apply that than I am to really how your notes look. I appreciate that some people really like that aesthetic look about notes, and that's fine. I think they're really pretty to look at. Whether or not I learn anything from them is another matter. So don't be too hard on yourself if you don't like this or you think it doesn't fit in with the general Instagram study note aesthetic. It doesn't have to. It's what works for you, not what works for, somebody else in the same position. And ultimately, if you're just starting out in your revision journey, if this is the time that you've decided that you're going to make the change and start getting into good habits, make the good habit your knowledge and your application and your revision and your learning. Don't make it the fact that you're really good at calligraphy. Obviously, if you're doing art or GCSE in calligraphy, if you can even do that, I don't know. Then that's different. That's fine. But for me, this channel is going to be all about getting that content down, using your revision notes efficiently, and knowing different resources, where to find them. I'm basically doing all of this like on a shoestring, really, because realistically, how many of us have got, good notes on an iPad available at all times with a fancy colour printer? We just don't. So we have to make do with what we've got. I think if I was going to use these brush pens, I'd use them for doing title pages, that kind of thing, cover pages for packs of revision notes, but I wouldn't use it on every single note. They're okay. Colours are good, as you can see. Lastly, I just want to have a quick look at this jumbo pad. They're all pretty much of a muchness, aren't they? This one was £2. It's got 300 pages in it, which I think is pretty good value. It was nice to write on, it was chunky, so it was comfortable to write on. The fine liners worked fine on it, as did the highlighters.